All right, so up next, we just did walnut. Now we're going to do a poplar. And poplar is good wood. It typically is softer than hardwoods, of course. It's considered hardwood, which is odd. But it's probably slightly stronger than pine. So it's not hard on the blades at all. This is a 20-inch, and then it does balloon out. It has a little bit of a crotch on it. About 8 feet something long. Yeah, I'm going to do a cut to make it flush, because I'm using wedges right now and they can shake loose. I'm going to do a cut that makes a flat spot, then flip her over, and then she should be good. And I'll slab her out in 2 inches. This is what I call affordable slabs. These ones are not going to be expensive. These ones might be 25 to 30. I'll probably list them for like 25. See what people charge. Want them. So I'll keep a close monitor my time. See how long it takes me. Poplar has a short shelf life, is what I've learned. I love it, but you cut it, you sell it fast. You ain't gonna sit her out there for weeks, so price her to sell, because she will twist on you. Some of these look pretty good. These two are probably the best. Book matched, of course. Yeah, be good for a river table. We'll take them to the stacking area, let them dry out, and hose them down for photos. All right, we got some poplar slabs. Turned out pretty good. Skinny ends, 18 inches. Fat ends, 20 plus, probably about 24 on this end. Middle's about 20. 8 foot long on these two, 2 inches thick. Skinny on that one is 15 inches. Fat end at that knot's probably about 20 inches, about 20-ish on here. Then I got, those are 2 inches thick as well. Then I got this little one that's not book matched. And then I got these two, which are book matched, but these are slightly thinner. I believe these are 1.5 inches thick. They'd be a little bit cheaper. And yeah, they're not as wide, but they still are book matched. So yeah, good looking slabs. Yeah, poplar. Poplar has a good grain. I love it. Lots of purples and different colors in there. Mineral marks is what we call them. If the tree grows near a stream, it sucks up minerals and gets different colors than if it grows in a field, to be honest with you. But yeah, pretty looking slabs. When you come in the door, you got a coat hook. This is where we take off our shoes. It's just a giant pile of shoes. So I need to make a solution for this, to organize this in a place to put your shoes on and put your shoes, store them in. And yeah, a lot of these shoes are mine. Not just the kids, it's me too. So we got to fix this. Guys, so we're going to be building a piece of furniture out of this old twisted piece of plywood. I got a bunch of sheets of this 3/4 inch tongue and groove plywood for $5 a sheet, because they're all a little water damaged. Been selling them for $20 a piece, and I don't advertise that. I just kind of keep them, and I have a friend that needs something, they're building something. Anyway, and then this piece of poplar. So we have a problem at our house where the front door is, where we come in, we just take off our shoes, and there's just a kind of a lineal space full of shoes. And I thought to myself, if I could build something that has a bench on top, that'll be the bench, and a cabinet, which will be made out of this plywood that's a little rough. I could build something rustic that holds shoes, and you could sit on and change your shoes type situation. So this piece I cut like 5 years ago. Has a little bit of sentimental value. It's poplar. You can't see the grain now because it's all grayed. It's been in the barn for a long time. But years ago I built, when I first met my wife, you can see the screws are still in it. I got to cut that end off. Kind of like a cat, we call it the cat hutch. And it was basically the living room window opened up, and her inside cats had never been outside, and so we made like a chicken hutch that they could go into and not have to worry about predators. So what we're going to do today is, this was the running board they walked on to get into the chicken hutch, and we'd feed them out there. We fed them on this too, but a lot of those cats have died, and so I thought it'd be neat to have a piece of wood that they touched be the top of that, and I think she would like that too, kind of a memorial to them. One cat was name was Mouse, one was Lorelei, and yeah. So what I'm doing here is laying down a chalk line, getting ready to do my cut, and I kind of sped this up just because it was kind of boring. So I'm cutting up the back so I have something clean to push against the wall. And the trouble was, you know, this slab tapered so much. One end was near 20, one end was near like, you know, 15 inches. So I really had to play with it to get to work for my needs. You know, there I'm doing my true up cut on the end. After I do my back cut, I can take a square and, you know, true up the ends. And I flipped it, cut it again. Probably had to double cut it because it was a little thicker than 2.5, 2.25. It's probably more likely 2.5. Make my lines, my little measuring, my little square. Make sure we're good. Now we're cutting off that extra piece. Boom, didn't break because it's actually longer. I had to double cut it. Double cut, double cut, double cut. Oh, pretty clean. Clean it up. And then, yeah, so there's that piece. Double checking my measurements. Kind of just, you know how it is. Measure twice, cut once. I think I'm going to face cut this a little bit because it comes to a sharp narrow. And I was thinking about the kids. They might, you know, fall on that or something. So it's not the little chalk line. Zip, 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 zip. That Milwaukee I've had for like 20 years. I've put a blade on it like 4 or 5 times. For me, it's deciding which side. This big knot kind of tells me I want to put this side down. It's where a machine grabbed it. Although that would be cool to have that live edge like that. Choices. I could get in there with a sander and clean that out a good bit. But I'm thinking probably this side. Like that. This will go to the back wall. And you get a little bit of live edge. Kind of right here in the middle, a little swoop and over the end. So I designed it. It's 5 foot 1 inches. So I can do a 1/2 inch over edge on each side of the build. And then I did 17 inches. So I figured that I'm going to cut these 15 inches. And they might have a face piece. If I did that, it'll come out to 16. All right, so I'm right here. I'm cutting a sheet of plywood, measuring, trying to get my 3 shelves out of 1 sheet. As my wife's yelling for her dog right now while I'm doing this audio. Yeah, so I'm measuring. I think I settled on 15 inches each because I had to trim the tongue off the tongue and groove plywood, and I figured that would give me enough. And you'll see me measure my foot at one point because I'm trying to match them to my shoes, and I wear size 16. It used to be 16, but now I just found out I can wear 14 double wide. So now I got to cut all these to 58.5, and then the scrap pieces will be the ends and the back. All right, some more cutting here. It's 58.5. Put my marks on the board, cutting it, cut. You know, I just take out the audio in these because it's just sped up and it's a lot of, you know, you can see I'm agonizing over math decisions. There I'm measuring my foot, trying to make it work. But yeah, so just, you know, doing a lot of measuring here and a lot of cutting. As you can see, I put scrap wood on my forks to keep me from cutting my forks, you know, vernier blade. There's my kids screaming in the background. But yeah, it's just me working, and I figured I'd speed this up to make it go better. So now I've moved to the back of my truck, and I'm just putting together the cabinet, is what I call it. I don't think I pre-drilled. No, I might have pre-drilled. Yeah, I saw a drill. Yeah, I pre-drilled and then put in there with just some T25 framing screws, to be honest with you. And yeah, spaced out how much I need my shelf, and then the top. And I faced this cabinet with a 2x material. I just ripped off a 2x6, a true 2x6, the face off of it with the circular saw, and that's what I face it with. All right, so that's the rough shape of everything. Next, put a back on it. Might have to put a little couple dividers, have scrap. I got scrap. And then we'll fix the top. Now the top is 2.5 inches thick. This is 18.5 inches tall, so that'll make it 21 inches. Chair height's usually 17 to 18, so it's gonna be a little higher. But yeah, I wanted to give enough space for 2 racks of shoes. And then yeah, exposed screw holes, I don't care. It's gonna be polyed. It'll be a rough sand, then a polyurethane on top, just to keep, you know, it's a utilitarian piece. The top I'll try to do a little more sanding on and make it beautiful. But yeah, let's cut my dividers. And the back, I guess I should do the back first, go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Harbor Freight hand planer on this. It'll work pretty good. It will take out some big chunks though, and then I'll have to hit it with 80 grit, but it'll kind of restore it to its original color. We'll do some of that. All right, as you can see the difference. I think this is a piece of sweet gum, not poplar, because of the green. But yeah, you see the lines. What we do now is I'm gonna finish getting this planed, and then I'm gonna take 80 grit on a palm sander and get these lines out, and then she'll be ready for poly. I'll start with 80, go to 120. You painting? Polyurethaning? So yeah, I decided to leave the bottom just natural wood and just polyurethane everything. And I sanded it lightly, faced it with some scrap pieces of wood. And yeah, it's gonna be a little rough, but it's gonna look good. Hey! You're doing good. Here she is, what me and my daughter made. She helped me polyurethane it. 2 coats of poly on it. Piece of, I think it's actually either poplar or sweet gum on top. Just pine, screws showing. I faced it with a 2x6. I just ripped off this part. And yeah, it's polyurethane twice. It's good. It's going to be a nice little bench / shoe cubby. I try to make things. Most of my furniture comes from Goodwill or on the side of the road. And what's in between I make. And so yeah, let's get this in the house. Here we go. You like it, Charlotte?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, looks good. Almost fits all the shoes. I'm gonna have to pare down some of my shoes that no longer work. But yeah, you did a good job polyurethane in it. You did a real good job. You brushed that on. You made it look nice.
No.
I love you.
No. Cause no.
Charlotte, do not take the shoes out of the cubbies. Oh, she's trying to wear one. Charlotte, what are you doing to the shoes? What? What?
A shoe.
Yeah, why'd you take the shoes out?
Okay, I'll touch you.
Can you put the shoes back?
What?
Can you put the shoes back for me?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's try it out.
You been eating chocolate?